Hey folks, sometimes when you're connecting to data sources, you don't have a choice. What you get is a really flat and wide file, right, which has all your numeric measures, great, but then it has a whole bunch of product attributes and maybe customer and whatever else is related with that transaction right in that row. And that's not the ideal shape for Power Pivot. What you really want to do is carve these out into separate data tables and lookup tables. Let's see how we can accomplish that. So I have already pulled this table into Power Pivot, and let's take a look at that. And we are going to use DAX as a query language to try to splice the data in the lookup table. The hardest part here is actually just getting started. So let's try that. So if you go in Excel, what you need to do is you first make sure you have something in the Power Pivot model, and then go to Data, Existing Connections. And from here, click on Tables, and just select one of the tables here. I usually select something that is really small, in this case, Team Scenario, and just click Open. That is good. And you get the table. The specific table that you get is immaterial because you are going to edit the DAX query later on by hand. Now, while this feature is available in Excel 2013, the ability to edit DAX, for 2010 you can get pretty close by using the DAX Studio add-in. But for now, we're going to right click on it, and under Table, I'm going to choose Edit DAX. Now in this box, I'm going to change the command type to DAX, and I can type whatever I wish. Alright, for now I'm just going to paste in the query that I have. Evaluate is like the select of DAX query, and summarize is kind of like group by, if you're familiar with SQL queries. If not, all I'm trying to do here is get a unique set of rows to define my product table. So I have that, and I can hit OK, and that's it. And if you look, this has about 56 rows, whereas my complete data table has more than 3,600 rows. So it's giving me just the unique products. What I'm going to do is, first of all, change the table name. And this is my product table. And then I can add this to my Power Pivot data model. The reason why I changed the name in Excel for the table is because even though you can rename this in Power Pivot, Excel field list still seems to show the old name. It doesn't respect what you call it here. Kind of weird, but that's it. Now I have my product table, and I can actually go back and fetch my data table, but this time I can only select the numeric columns. I don't have to select all the attributes because now they reside separately in my lookup table. So here's my flat fact table, but for now I'm just gonna, and let's see, and I can just select just the keys, and the numeric measures. So make sure you do select the key because you're going to need that to link to your lookup tables. And that's it. It's going to be narrow and long. That's how we like our fact tables to be. That's done. Let's go to the diagram view, and we can ignore these two for now. And link our new lean and mean fact table, data table, to our lookup table. So this was just an example, but typically you might have everything squished in a single flat table. You might have customers in there, employee, or so on and so forth, and you can use the same technique to kind of separate them out. So right now we have 3,690 rows coming in from our flat table, and we are constructing our product table based on that. And let's see how many rows it has. It has 56 rows right now. But let's say we got more data. We got, let's say, an year's worth of data, and is everything gonna work fine? And we have this link table, which is really based on a query of another DAX table, and actually it does. Everything works just great. So let's try that. So on the back end, I have added some more data. So I'm gonna refresh all. Give it a moment. Alright, and let's go back to Power Pivot, and let's look at a fact table, and it has a lot more rows now, 60,098, and product has a lot more products as well. So it does, even though you have the links going back and forth, Power Pivot to query and then back to Power Pivot, it still works just fine, and a data refresh is going to get you the current data in all your tables. So we saw that using a DAX query language. You can certainly do the same using Power Query as well. So let's quickly see that. Alright, so I'm going to select my flat fact table, which is kind of the flat and wide table. And first I'm going to construct the product table. For that, I'm going to select all of the product columns, and I'm going to say remove other columns. And then I'll select everything and just say remove duplicates. That's it. Give it a nice name. And I wish I could change this to a default option, because inevitably, almost always, what I'm trying to do is send it to the data model and not load it to the Excel sheet. So I've set that here. Alright, so that's loaded. Let's quickly take a peek at Power Pivot. So that's our lookup table. Let's go back and get our data table as well. Oh, actually, I'm just going to use alright, and this time we will select kind of a data set, but make sure you include all the keys in it. And that's it. We just need to remove the other columns, but everything else is good. This is ready to go. So same thing, I'm going to send this to Power Pivot. And that's it. Oops, I forgot to rename it. That's my fact data table. That's my lookup, and I can set that connection. And if I had additional attributes all flattened in the same table, I could have spliced them separately into, say, customers, employees, and so forth. Folks, hope you enjoyed that. Go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel, or navigate to our blog, and there you can subscribe to our blog as well.